Mahabharata, Chapter 19, Ghatotkacha. Bhima was famous for his strength, but how strong was he really? Let us look at a few examples and incidents to understand Bhima's true strength. As a reminder, Bhima was the son of Vayu, the wind god. The Pandavas and Kunti scrambled out of the long, narrow tunnel and into the forest. They were unaware of Purochana's death and were apprehensive that he may send an army after them into the forest. The Pandavas were exhausted. They amassed the last ounce of energy they had left and crossed River Ganga. They started trotting wearily into the jungle. While everyone else was beat, Bhima marched on with the energy of someone who's had a full night's sleep and a hearty breakfast. But they had to keep moving lest danger caught up with them. The mighty Bhima carried his mother Kunti on his shoulder, Nakula and Sahadeva on his hips, and Yudhishthira and Arjuna on his strong arms, and powered his way through the jungle. He shattered great trees with his bare chest and raced ahead. Herds of elephants watched the son of Vayu as he forced his way through the forest. Eventually, Kunti and the other Pandavas became too tired to travel, even though they were carried by Bhima. They stopped, and the rest of the family fell asleep immediately as Bhima kept watch. Such was the strength of Bhima that he felt not an iota of weariness. The forest was ruled by a Rakshasa called Hidimba and his sister Hidimbi. Rakshasas have many mystical powers. They are strong during the night. They can take any form or shape at will. They can fly with incredible speed and can smell any living being from a far distance. Sensing that there are humans in the area, Hidimba uttered to his sister, "Hidimbi, it seems that there are human beings in our midst. They must not know that we are the rulers of this forest. It is our fortune. My stomach is growling with hunger, and I'm craving for human blood. Kill them and bring their flesh to me." Thus commanded by her brother, Hidimbi went to the spot where the Pandavas were sleeping. On reaching their location, she saw Bhima majestically standing and watching over his brothers and mother. Hidimbi saw this well-built human, his strong arms and broad shoulders, his godlike appearance. Hidimbi immediately fell in love with Bhimasena. She thought to herself that killing such a person would only satisfy them temporarily, but if she were to wed him, she can have this mighty warrior for herself, for life. She decided that she will not follow her brother's orders. The Rakshasa woman, capable of transforming her appearance at will, morphed herself into an extraordinarily beautiful girl and slowly approached Bhima and addressed him. "O mighty prince, who are you? Why are you in this forest? My brother, the Rakshasa Hidimba, is intent on killing all of you for food. But I have fallen in love with you and will not allow any harm to come to your family or yourself. Make me your wife. Wed me. I shall protect you from my cannibal brother." Bhima replied, "O Rakshasa woman, I'm watching over my dear ones. How can I abandon them? I shall not allow their sleep to be disturbed. My foremost duty is my family's safety. Nothing can come in the way. No one, no Rakshasa." In this fashion, Hidimbi tried to persuade Bhima, and Bhima in turn refused any of Hidimbi's advances. While they were conversing, the Rakshasa brother Hidimba, who was waiting for his food, got impatient. He proceeded towards the Pandavas and saw Hidimbi in human form talking to Bhima. Mad at her for not obeying his orders, Hidimba yelled at his sister and proceeded towards Bhima with the intent of killing the Pandavas. Bhima warned the Rakshasa that he will kill him if his brothers and mother were disturbed, but Hidimba did not listen. He ran towards Bhima with stretched hands and great speed. But before Hidimba could hit him, Bhima grabbed his hands and swung him like a playing rope and threw the Rakshasa far away. Hidimba screamed in anger. Bhima ran towards him and punched his jaw. Hidimba returned the favor. The fight was on. The huge Rakshasa and the tiny human seemed unevenly matched on paper, but Hidimba was unaware of Bhima's strength and thus underestimated him. His jabs at Bhima seemed to make no difference. Bhima uprooted trees with ease and hurled them at Hidimba. This monstrous fighting woke up the entire forest. Animals like tigers, lions, elephants roared in the background. The forest had turned into a battlefield. With all this noise around them, Kunti and her 4 children woke up and saw what was happening. They were confused to see the beautiful Hidimbi standing next to them. She was petrified. At a distance, they saw Hidimba and Bhima locked in arms. Arjuna called out to Bhima, "Brother, let me slay this Rakshasa." And Arjuna took out his bow and arrows. Bhima yelled back, "Stay back, brother. This Rakshasa won't live long." Saying this, Bhima summoned all the energy of his father Vayu and lifted Hidimba high over his head and whirled him 100 times and slashed him to the ground. The Rakshasa yelled in pain and fell dead. Bhima took Hidimba's body and broke it into 2 like a twig. Hidimbi bowed to Kunti Devi and addressed her, "O wise mother, I have fallen in love with your son and cannot imagine any other as my husband. My brother is dead and I have no family left in this forest. Yes, I am a Rakshasa, but I am driven by my love for Bhimasena. I will forever be loyal to your son and your family. Please unite us." Kunti Devi agreed to Hidimbi's request. Yudhishthira spoke out, "O Rakshasa woman, Bhima is our strength. He is our protector. He will live with you as your husband from dawn to dusk. But once the sun sets, he must return to our abode. If you agree to this practice every day, we consent to the wedding." Hidimbi obediently nodded and took Bhima upon her body and flew away. Bhima and Hidimbi spent many days flying across beautiful mountains and wonderful scenery that were inaccessible to normal people. They were blissful in married life. In time, Bhima and Hidimbi had a child. The child had dark brown lips and blood-red eyes and resembled a Rakshasa. He had no resemblance to a human, though he was born to one, but had the strength of Bhimasena. The child's head was bald and appeared like a ghata. Ghata means water pot. Thus, the bald child was named Ghatotkacha. Rakshasa babies do not take the usual time that it takes for humans to grow older. Soon, Ghatotkacha was fully grown. He learned the arms and Vedas and was genetically blessed with the powers that Rakshasas are famous for. He also possessed the innate strength of his father, Bhimasena. This combination made Ghatotkacha a very powerful Rakshasa. Hidimbi knew that her time to leave had come and left Bhimasena and the Pandavas and returned to the forest and took Ghatotkacha with her. Ghatotkacha paid his respects to his father and told him that he would appear any time his father needed him. Bhima only needed to think of Ghatotkacha and he would appear. Saying this, Ghatotkacha, the foremost of Rakshasas, flew high into the forest and disappeared. Ghatotkacha's story has a subtle lesson to note. We are used to typecasting people based on their origin. For example, we assume that all gods are good. Gods make mistakes too, like Prabhasa did by stealing Vashishta's cow and was cursed to be born as Devavrata. The corollary is also true. We assume that people of a certain race are bad. People of certain religion are cruel. People from a particular country are unhygienic, etc. No one is born bad. It is the circumstances of upbringing that make someone behave normal or evil. In this example, while most Rakshasas are inherently associated with evil, Ghatotkacha was not. Why? Because he was born into a family that was virtuous. He was taught by his mighty father Bhimasena and his righteous uncle Yudhishthira. Ghatotkacha was a Rakshasa. Ghatotkacha was also good. For those who don't know Ghatotkacha's background, they may typecast him as evil simply on account of him being a Rakshasa. But that's not the truth, is it? The lesson to note is this. If we take the time to understand a person's background, we may be surprised by how much our opinion and judgment of that person may change. Ghatotkacha, the Rakshasa, returns many times later in this narrative to assist the Pandavas in various situations. He also returns in the Kurukshetra battle and forms an able ally to the Pandavas, killing thousands of Kaurava warriors and numerous Kaurava brothers. Ghatotkacha goes on to fight Karna in an epic battle, but is then eventually killed by Karna's primary weapon, Shakti, that Karna had originally reserved for his battle with Arjuna. Karna would use this weapon on Ghatotkacha instead, as the damage the Rakshasa would inflict on the Kaurava army would be unbearable. Ghatotkacha thus indirectly both weakens Karna as well as protects Arjuna's life. All that comes later. For now, the Pandavas go on to meet Vyasa and Bhima kills another Rakshasa in the next chapter.